welcome you to today's education based varsity girls basketball game. Tonight's radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO, that's Rob Kendall from The Kendall and Casey Show. Weekday mornings, 9 to noon on 93.1 FM, or you can go to WIBC.com. Tonight's game going to feature the Frankton Lady Eagles as they visit Hamilton Heights, the Lady Huskies. Lady Huskies' first game of the season. And then we'll mention it's going to be the third game for the Frankton Lady Eagles. They're going to run down 5 more minutes here in just a bit. We're going to have our national anthem here shortly. And the collars are going to be presented right here. First game at Hamilton Heights. And home game for the Huskies. And the girls are going to line up on the volleyball line. They're going to stagger. They're actually going to alternate Frankton and Hamilton Heights. And they are presenting the collars right now. And as we think in honor, Mr. Cheney, he went on to be with our maker. And I'm very thankful. And we'll mention Paul Tagliabue, NFL. I tell you what, Paul Tagliabue is one of the reasons the NFL is so successful today. So they're getting ready to present the collars. 4 gentlemen, I'm sure they're from Cicero, I would guess so. We're all going to stand at attention, and we'll step this down. That was our national anthem. It was Memorex, but they all sound good. We got 5 minutes on the clock right now. They'll run that down. I have a 20-minute pregame to spread that out from 15 to 5. And we'll mention a little bit about each school. We'll mention first for the Frankton Lady Eagles. They have a school enrollment of 531 as the Huskies and the Frankton Lady Eagles go off into their own locker rooms. And I will mention Frankton Lady Eagles are Class 2A, Sectional 39. There are 6 in their section. Alphabetically, they are the Elwood Lady Panthers. The LaPel Lady Bulldogs, the high school, is Mr. Brett Sanders. The athletic director is Mr. Brent Brobston, and the athletic secretary is Katrina Hunter. Frankton High School is located at 610 Clyde Street, Frankton, Indiana 46044. You can dial them up by telephone at 765 754 7879. And on the website, it's Frankton Eagles Athletics.com. And on the collar scheme, they wear red and white. They perform in the Central Indiana Conference. There are 8 teams in the Central Indiana. 2 teams have played. They played each other. Alexandria and Madison Grant. Alexandria got the win. In the conference alphabetically, it is Alexandria, Elwood, Oak Hill, Eastbrook, Blackford, Mississinawa, Frankton, Madison Grant. The Frankton Lady Eagles are currently no wins, 2 losses on the season. Their head coach is Mr. Caden Key. I got to meet him before the ball game. What a kind gentleman. He's working in year number 1 at Frankton High School. Next game on the agenda for the Eagles is going to happen on Saturday, November 15th. It'll be a 6 and a 7:30, we think. We'll mention a 7:30 varsity, somewhere around that neighborhood. It'll be the Frankton Lady Eagles as they travel to the Lapel Lady Bulldogs. Now we'll talk a little bit about the Hamilton Heights Lady Huskies. Lady Huskies, they have a school enrollment of 687. Their school was conglomerated in 1965. They became Hamilton Heights in that year. They're Class 3A, Sectional 24, and there are 6 in their sectional. Their sectional will happen this year at Yorktown High School. In their sectional alphabetically is Connorsville, Delta, Hamilton Heights, Jay County, Newcastle, Yorktown. We'll mention the principal at Hamilton Heights High School is Miss Whitney Gray. The dean of students is Mr. Mitch Street. The athletic director is Mr. Kurt Ogden. The athletic trainer is Jan Clifton Gaw, and the athletic department manager is Leanne Moffett. We'll mention Hamilton Heights High School is located at 25802 State Road 19. That's in Arcadia, Indiana, 46030. You can dial them by telephone at 317 984 3551. On the website, athletically, it's hhschuskies.org. They wear the color scheme of orange, white, and brown. And yes, that orange was put into the color scheme by Mr. Dean Small. Dean Small used to be the coach of the Hamilton Heights Huskies. He said, hey, cream, white, and brown, they need another color. So vibrant color, he said, that was his word, orange. The Hoosier Athletic Conference, we'll mention they have an East Division and a West Division. We'll talk about both divisions here in just a bit. We'll mention Hamilton Heights participating in the East Division, and it's Hamilton Heights, Logansport, Shipton, Western. As mentioned, the Lady Huskies are 0-0 on the season. Their head coach is Aaron Trempy. Aaron Trempy working in year number 2 at Hamilton Heights, 5-17 a year ago. Overall, she's a 6-year varsity head basketball coach. 54 wins, 59 losses. The next game on the agenda for the Lady Huskies is going to happen this Friday evening, November 14th. 6 o'clock JV, 7:30 for the varsity. Hamilton Heights Lady Huskies will be at the Noblesville Lady Millers. Clock's rolling down, 1:23 left here in the pregame. They're getting ready to play basketball momentarily. We'll mention the Hoosier Conference girls basketball games happening tonight. There are 4 games in the Hoosier Conference here on the 11th of November. Frankton Lady Eagles are here, as you know, with the Hamilton Heights Lady Huskies. Logansport, the Lady Berries are at Lafayette Central Catholic Knights tonight. West Lafayette Red Devils, they are at Kokomo Lady Wildcats tonight. And the Western Lady Panthers are at the Mississinawa Lady Indians. 47 seconds, clock rolling down. We'll mention Central Indiana girls basketball game happening tonight, November 11th. 6 games on the agenda, all games starting at 7:30. At 3-0, it's the Alexandria Lady Tigers. They are at the 1-0 Delta Lady Eagles. Fort Wayne Lady Generals at 0-2. They are at Blackford tonight. Lady Bruins at 0-1. The Frankfort Lady Hot Dogs at 0-1. They are at the Elwood Lady Panthers at 3-0. The Frankton Lady Eagles 0-2. They're at Hamilton Heights. You know that. Hamilton Heights first game of the season. Lapel Lady Bulldogs at 3-0. We'll mention Zach Newby, their head coach, 125-56, working in year number 8. They are at Oak Hill, the Lady Golden Eagles. They are 1-0 on the season. And the Western Lady Panthers at 0-1. They are at the Mississinawa Lady Indians at 0-1. So they're getting ready to introduce the starting lineups. We'll do the same. We'll mention for the Frankton Lady Eagles visiting team on the scoreboard. A 5'5" sophomore. She'll wear number 12, Delaney Perkins. A 5'6" sophomore, number 14, Layla Farrell. A 5'7" junior, number 20, Addie Moore. A 6'1" senior, number 25, Macy Curtis. And a 5'7" junior, number 42, Kylie Bias. The head coach for the Frankton Lady Eagles is Mr. Caden Key. Now the starting lineup for the Hamilton Heights Lady Huskies. They'll start like this, wearing number 3, 5'8" freshman. That's Addison Bloom. Wearing number 10, a 5'5" freshman, Bailey Eisel. Wearing number 12, a 5'7" junior, Cameron Roten. Wearing number 23, a 6'1" freshman, Riley Suarez. And a 5'11" freshman, she wears number 44, that's Zoe Curry. The head coach for the Lady Huskies is Aaron Trimpe. So they're finishing up the lineups right there. 8 minutes on the game clock. And I will mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Bubbles and Bark Spa. Bubbles and Bark Spa, if you love your dog, Bubbles and Bark Spa will love your dog too. They opened on July 11th this year, and they're located at 3660 West 500 South. That's in Sharpsville, Indiana, 46068. You can email them at bubblesinbarkspa@yahoo.com. That's Katie Wade, Bubbles and Bark Spa in Sharpsville. We'll also mention tonight's ball game is being brought to you in part by Lucky Strike Lanes. Lucky Strike Lanes, that's in Elwood, Indiana. If you like creating memories, that's the place to be. Family, friendly bowling, state-of-the-art Redemption Arcade, great food and drinks at Sally's at the Alley. Open lanes with Cosmic Bowling every Saturday night at 7 to 11 p.m. And Lucky Strike Lanes just west of the Pizza King right there on Anderson Street, and that's in Elwood. So they're finishing up the starting lineups. And I'll tell you what, you got some tournaments coming up. We'll talk about them in the near future. And I appreciate you joining us this evening. We're going to mention another good sponsor is Rutledge Well Drilling. Rutledge Well Drilling and Pump Service Incorporated. When you think of water, think of Rutledge Well Drilling. Pumps, sales, service, water conditioning, water softeners, iron filters, and trenching. Rutledge Well Drilling. Call them at 765-292-2315. So they're getting ready to jump it up. 8 minutes on the game clock. Jumping center for the Frankton Lady Eagles is going to be number 25, Macy Curtis, 6'1" senior. She'll jump up again. Another 6'1", but she's freshman, 23, Riley Suarez. Here comes the whistle. There's a toss. Toss is good. Maybe a little bit low. Going to be picked up by Hamilton Heights. Going to be a quick layup. Left side of the bucket. Credit to bucket number 10, Bailey Eisel. 2-0 contest. Huskies are going to play full court pressure. Going to show some pressure. They're going to play the V, try to get it back across the timeline with the pass. Frankton Lady Eagles, they'll bounce it in. It's going to be a kick. Bounce pass right there in front of the scores bench. It was tipped away with a foot by Bailey Eisel. It's going to belong to Frankton. Frankton's going to bring it in, three-quarter court. Tossed in right there on the dribble. Give back to the point guard. That's number 12, Delaney Perkins. They're working through the front court. Going to be a tie-up right there in front of the scores bench. It's going to be a jump ball. They don't jump ball anymore. They bring the ball in from out of bounds, and this possession belongs to Frankton as Hamilton Heights got the opening tip. Going to be brought in the front court. Loud stop on the dribble. Working the basketball. Frankton Lady works it around. Number 12, Delaney Perkins. Working around the perimeter, work it back out on the dribble. That's 14, Layla Farrell. Back to Farrell out top. Lady Huskies running a 3-2 zone. You're going to bounce it in. Left elbow, inside out play. 3-point shot just off the mark. That was 20. Addie Moore. Back the other direction. Lady Huskies with the rebound. They'll take it to the front court. That's Cameron Roten out top of the circle. She'll pass it behind the circle. 3-point shot in the air. Good. Credit the bucket. Addison Bloom. It's going to be a quick timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout called by the Frankton Lady Eagles. 6:57 left here in the first quarter. Lady Huskies 5. Lady Eagles 0. 30-second timeout. We'll talk a little bit about the Hoosier Conference reminder. We'll talk about that. We'll mention in the East Division, there are 4 teams alphabetically. They are not the same as the football lineup. It's not quite the same. In the East Division, 4 teams are Hamilton Heights Lady Huskies, Logansport Lady Berries, Tipton Lady Devils, and the Western Lady Panthers. In the West Division, 5 teams. Alphabetically, Central Catholic Lady Knights, Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers, Twin Lakes Lady Indians, Benton Central Bison, and the West Lafayette Lady Red Devils. Ball's going to be brought in backcourt. Tossed in. She'll get the ball back. Original toss in. That's Cameron, number 12. That's Delaney Perkins. We're going to break the press with the pass to the front court on the dribble now. Is Addie Moore. Out top of the circle. Hampton Heights going to play tight defense. Going to tip the ball away. It's going to be a steal. Be a 2-point bucket off the left side of the glass. Credit the bucket, number 10, Bailey Eisel. 7-0 contest. Lady Huskies in front. Frankton Lady Eagles going to bounce in their backcourt. They'll get it to the front court. The pass. They'll work it down to the right corner baseline. That's Curtis, Macy Curtis with the basketball. They'll go to the opposite corner. Step in front of the 3-point line. Might have been deflected. That shot taken by 42, Kylie Byatt. To the front court with the basketball. Cameron Roten, triple threat available. She'll hand off. Pass. That's number 10, Bailey Eisel. Outside near the center circle, near the Husky logo. She'll bounce on the left side out top of the circle. Suarez. Riley Suarez wears 23. They'll work it inside the arc. Left-handed shot, good. About a 16-footer. Credit the bucket, number 10, Bailey Eisel. She's a 5'5" freshman. 5:45 on the game clock, first quarter. They'll bounce it in the front court. They'll go to the corner with it. It's Curtis again. Macy Curtis is going to pass out of there. She's going to be intercepted. Going the other direction is Suarez. Suarez, right-handed layup off the left side of the glass. 2-point bucket, good for Suarez. 5:25, clock moving. First quarter, Hamilton Heights, first ball game. Third game for the Frankton Lady Eagles. Going to work it to the opposite corner. Working around the perimeter. Outside the arc, they'll get it back. Right side, that's 42. Kylie Byatt. So we're around the perimeter. They'll bounce it into Curtis. Inside out play, they'll bounce it down baseline. 2-point shot just off the mark. Rebound put back is good. That's 25, Macy Curtis. She got the board from the missed shot by Kylie Byatt. 4:55, clock moving. First quarter here at Hamilton Heights High School. Going to work it out top of the basketball in the ball game. That's 44, Zoe Curry. They'll work it down low, right-handed hook shot in the lane. Credit the bucket. That's 23, Riley Suarez. 13-2 contest. Hamilton Heights in front. They'll work it through the front court. Force the ball around. 42, Kylie Byatt. They'll bounce it out top with the basketball. That's Delaney Perkins. They'll work it in right elbow. They'll get it into Curtis. We'll work it back around. 3-point shot in the air. Rims off. Rebound put back wouldn't go. The rebound put back was missed by Delaney Perkins. The original shot missed by Kylie Byatt. To the front court, Hamilton Heights spin move in the paint. Going to be first foul of the ball game. Spin move in the paint. Going to whistle this foul on the Frankton Lady Eagles. Going to call this foul on Layla Farrell. She'll pick up her first foul in the ball game. First foul of anyone in this game. Lady Huskies waiting to check in at the scores bench. It's going to be 2 shots awarded to Addison Bloom. First shot, good. Entering the ball game for the Lady Huskies. Going to be number 22. That's Reese Blanton. She's a 5'5" junior. Taking a breather for the Lady Huskies is number 12, Cameron Roten. Second shot, rims around, falls in. Credit the bucket, 2 at the stripe for number 3, Addison Bloom. Frankton Lady Eagles to the front court. Going to be an over and back call. 14, Layla Farrell made it to the front court and passed it back just prior. And number 20, that was Addie Moore, getting to the front court. Didn't establish. So they're working in the front court, Hamilton Heights. Ball brought in on the dribble out top. On the run there is number 10, Bailey Eisel. Out top, she'll work it left side, left elbow extended. 3-point shot wouldn't go. A high Karam going to take the ball across the backboard and out of bounds. That shot taken by 23, Riley Suarez. 3:48 left here in the first quarter. 15-10. Lady Huskies in front. Going to work the ball in the backcourt, trying to break the press. They'll try to pierce the double team there. Going to be a tie-up. They're going to call a jump ball in the backcourt. That jump ball between number 20. It was Addie Moore and number 10, Bailey Eisel. Alternate possession arrow. Going to give the ball back to Hamilton Heights. Going to be brought in from side court. There to the right side of the Frankton Lady Eagle bench. They get the ball in. It's number 10, Bailey Eisel. She'll pass it left side. Picking up her dribble in a hurry there with Risa Plant. They'll bounce it back opposite corner outside the 3-point line. 3-point shot in the air, short off the mark. I should say long off the rim. And it's going to be rebounded by Hamilton Heights. Going to go baseline. It's going to be a stolen pass right there, going back the other direction. Frankton Lady Eagles and the Lady Huskies are going to steal it in the paint back at the other end. Steal is made by Bailey Eisel. They'll work it down low. In the paint, 2-point shot off the glass wouldn't go. Try to get her on board. That first shot taken by Zoe Curry. And then first shot wouldn't go, got her own rebound. There's going to be a rebounding foul, and they're going to whistle this foul on Curry. So that's going to be her first foul in the ball game. And the first on the Huskies, just one foul thus far on the Frankton Lady Eagles here in the first quarter. And the Frankton Lady Eagles are going to dribble towards the Husky bench, going to lose the ball. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to belong to Hamilton Heights. 2:56 on the game clock. Ball brought in by Reese Blanton on the dribble, crossing the timeline. It's number 10, Bailey Eisel. She'll bounce it in, elbow, right side, going baseline, going to go up with a shot, Suarez, and she'll get fouled in the active shooting. They're going to whistle this foul on Frankton. They're going to whistle this foul on number 25, Macy Curtis. She'll pick up her first foul. 2 shots for Suarez. First shot rims around off the backboard and falls in. Suarez, second shot. Second shot is good. Got both of them with a 17-2. Hamilton Heights lead. Ball brought in from the backcourt. Point guard bringing it around is Cameron Smith. Point guard is 12. It's Delaney Perkins. And a bounce pass in the front court. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to belong to Frankton Lady Eagles on the alternate ball possession. Ball's going to be brought in. Across from the scores bench. Brought in there. 42, Kylie Bias. Still work the ball around. Stationary dribble. Triple threat available. Going to pass. Going to be a foul whistled. Long pass here. Delaney Perkins trying to find Addie Moore. And the foul's going to be whistled on Hamilton Heights as they try to high point the basketball. 2:29 on the game clock. 17-2. That foul whistled. Until she'll cross the timeline. Outside the arc, she'll crossover dribble. She'll work it to the opposite corner baseline. 3-point shot in the air, good. Right at the bucket. 3-point shot, Riley Suarez to 20-2 contest. The pass to the front court. Frankton Lady Eagles in the front court on the dribble now is Layla Farrell. She'll go to the corner. Hamilton Heights going to double team her. She'll jump pass out of it. She'll get the ball back out to Delaney Perkins. Perkins going to work it around the perimeter. She's going to try to find a teammate in the corner. It's going to go out of bounds, trying to find Kylie Bias. It's going to belong to Hamilton Heights. They'll bring it in front of their scores bench, and Hamilton Heights going to check back in momentarily with another substitution and an original starter. Eisel, left-handed shot in the lane, wouldn't go. Rebound, Frankton Lady Eagles. That's Delaney Perkins. She'll get the ball to Curtis, and Curtis going to hand the ball back to Layla Farrell. Now back to Perkins. They go opposite corner. They're working in to Curtis. Curtis going to hold the basketball and a hand in the air. They're going to call a timeout. Excuse me. Entering the ball game once again for the Lady Huskies is number 12, Cameron Roten. Cameron Roten, she's a 5'7" senior. Taking a breather for Hamilton Heights is number 44, Zoe Curry. Ball brought in backcourt. Crossing the timeline on the dribble. That's number 10, Bailey Eisel. Out beyond the arc on the dribble, 6'1", and that's Suarez. Suarez took a shot in the paint. Couldn't get the bucket. Came down to the rebound. The ball tipped out of bounds off of Suarez. Going to belong to the Frankton Lady Eagles. 1 minute, 12 seconds left here in the first quarter. Ball brought in backcourt. Hamilton Heights loose pressure in the backcourt. They'll bounce it back and forth. They'll pass across the timeline. On the dribble, that's number 20, Addie Moore. Outside the arc, 3-point shot wouldn't go, rimmed off. For 42, Kylie Bias. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. Cameron Roten going to pass it to the front court. Going to work it down low. Reverse layup from right side of the lane. Wouldn't go. That shot taken by Riley Suarez. 48 seconds left. To the front court on the dribble. Working the basketball and be tipped away. Going to be stolen by Hamilton Heights. Going the other direction, Suarez. She'll pass it down in the paint. In the paint, she'll tip it back out. And there's going to be a timeout called by Hamilton Heights. Coach Aaron Trimpe. At 36.4 left here in the first quarter. And we'll mention this game is also in part being brought to you by FritzandFishers.com. Since 1983, you can visit them online. That's great cars, great prices, great customers. You can dial them up at their dealership in Fishers, Indiana, 317-842-2228. Fritz, 2 locations, Hamilton County. Fritz in Fishers, 8599 East 116th Street. And Fritz in Noblesville. That's on the Westfield Road, 2400 Westfield Road, Noblesville, 46062. FritzandFishers.com, FRITZ. Hamilton Heights going to bring it in. Right side of the baseline. Will be brought in, chest pass, brought into Addison Bloom. Back outside to move the basketball. Bailey Eisel. Outside, I should say, 2-point shot just inside the arc, right side of the lane. 3-point, should be a 2-point shot, good. 22 seconds left, 22-2. Hamilton Heights in front. We're in the first quarter. Basketball on a Tuesday can be tipped from behind and be stolen. Tipped away to Cameron Rote. Back in the paint, 2-point shot, good. Credit the bucket, 23, Riley Suarez. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Ball's in the backcourt to the front court now. Going to be a reach in. Going to be a foul before the buzzer at 0.7 seconds left. And that reach in is going to be called against Blanton. Reese Blanton going to pick up her first foul in the ballgame. Lady Huskies had 3 accumulative here in the first half. And we'll mention 2 thus far for the Frankton Lady Eagle. Ball brought in, didn't get a shot off. That's going to complete quarter number 1 at the end of 1 quarter of play. Hamilton Heights 24, Frankton 2. And we'll also mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's 46062. And we'll mention they are just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. That's along State Road 32. At Discount Copies, they provide setup services where you can turn your artwork into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. It's just around the corner. Christmas cards, posters, and oversized printing also available. And also, if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone, 317-773-8783. Again, 317-773-8783. Or by Gmail, Discount Copies, the number 96 at gmail.com. So Hamilton Heights and Frankton playing basketball on a Tuesday evening. And 8 minutes, second quarter clock. And just a bit, maybe halftime. We'll talk about the preseason poll. Usually the preseason poll is the way the poll ended a year ago. We'll talk about Class 4A, 3 teams, Class 3A, 3 teams. Then we'll talk about Class 2A, 1 team, and Class 1A, 1 team. So there's a second buzzer. 8 minutes on the game clock. Ball's going to be brought in. Alternate possession arrow going to give the ball back to Frankton. Ball's going to be brought in mid-court. Going to be tossed in by 42, Kylie Bias. She'll toss it slightly to the backcourt. 14 to Layla Farrell. Farrell out top to move it around the adjacent to Delaney Perkins, back to Farrell. They'll go to baseline. They'll work it in. Baseline. Curtis. Inside out play. 3-point shot in the air off the rim. Wouldn't go. Shot taken there by Delaney Perkins. Rose can be brought in backcourt. The 22, Reese Blanton. She'll toss it in. Point guard, Bailey Eisel. Crossing the timeline. She'll work it left side. Reese Blanton. Out top, Cameron Rote. Back to Blanton into paint. She'll bounce hard and it's going to lose control of it. They're going to lose the handle. Picked up by Frankton Lady Eagles, Kylie Bias. To the front court. They get it down to Curtis. They try to work it through the corner. It's going to be tipped away by Hamilton Heights, Bailey Eisel. 7:21. Ball's going to belong to the Lady Eagle. They're going to bring the ball in on the baseline near the Husky bench right there on the corner. Going to be brought in, tossed in. Bounce pass. Working around, that's number 12, Delaney Perkins. Out top, back pedal dribble. Working the basketball there, 20, Addie Moore. Cross court, adjacent pass, Layla Farrell. They'll work it back and forth. They'll go to the corner with it. The Lady Huskies converging defense. We're using that 3-2 zone. They're working out top of the basketball. 14, Layla Farrell. They're working in free throw line. Left-handed shot off the mark. Shot taken there by Macy Curtis. Try to track her own rebound down near under the bucket and tipped out of bounds. It's going to belong to the Huskies. Lady Huskies going to bring the ball in. Right side of the baseline. Tossed in there by Reese Blanton. Bailey Eisel crossing the timeline. On the dribble, she'll bounce it out top. That's Riley Suarez. Cross-court pass, behind the arc, back pedal dribble. Eisel working the basketball. Crossing over there a couple times. She'll work her right side with the basketball. Reese Blanton. Elbow right side. Now 3-point shot in the air. Shot wouldn't go. That was Cameron Rote. Rebound, Frankton Lady Eagles. Credit the board. 25, Macy Curtis. Trying to pass down the corner, trying to find Addie Moore. Tipped out of bounds. Good defense by the Lady Huskies. Hamilton Heights going to check in with number 44, Zoe Curry, 5'11" freshman. Taking a breather is 22, Reese Blanton, 5'5" junior. Going to be brought in the front court. Crossed in by Bias. Out top of the basketball, moving the basketball, Layla Farrell. Out top, give up the dribbles to Delaney Perkins. She'll work it down low in the paint. 2-point shot tipped away. Rebound put back, wouldn't go. That was Macy Curtis. Back the other direction. Suarez going to dribble in. She'll go off the glass. Shot wouldn't go. Ball's in the paint, tipped around, and be picked up by Hamilton Heights on the rebound. They're working in the paint again. Suarez should go hard off the rim, wouldn't go. A little bit of friction there, a little bit of action there. The bumping in the paint. Working back the other direction. Lady Eagles. That's number 12, Delaney Perkins. They get it back out. Perkins on the dribble. Should go out and go to the corner. Working right there, Addie Moore. Working near the paint. Going to be stolen by Hamilton Heights. Zoe Curry. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to belong to Frankton. So Hamilton Heights going to check in with number 4, Stella Taylor, the 5'6" freshman, taking a breather for the Lady Huskies. Number 10, Bailey Eisel. 5:31 left. We're in the second quarter. 24-2. No score since the first quarter break. Out top of the basketball, Frankton Lady Eagles. Going to tip it back around. Going to be stolen for picked up at half court. Once again, that was 14, Layla Farrell, saving the basketball before it went out of bounds into the Huskies' arms. That's Addie Moore. Back the other direction. Outside the paint, 2-point shot. Right-handed layup wouldn't go for Zoe Curry. Back the other direction. Outside the arc. 3-point shot, good. Right at the bucket, right elbow extended. That's 42, Kylie Bias, 5'7" junior. 4:50 left here in the second quarter. Out top, stationary dribble. That's number 4, Stella Taylor. She'll work her right side behind the arc. Going to play her loosely right there, man-to-man. Guarding her loosely there is number 12, Delaney Perkins. They'll try to pass it down low in the paint. Going to be stolen, going back the other direction. Going to go baseline, 2-point shot, wouldn't go. Shot taken by Addie Moore. Ball's loose in the paint off the glass. Credit the bucket, Addie Moore. Stuck with it, came up with the basketball, put it back in. 24-7. Lady Huskies in front. Second quarter, 4:14 left here in the second quarter. They're working outside the arc. Riley Suarez on the dribble. Cross-court skip pass. They're working it down low, a little bit tall. Ball goes out of bounds. That was 44 Zoe Curry. And trying to find Stella Taylor in the paint. Going to be a full 60-second timeout called by Hamilton Heights. 4:05 left here in the second quarter. And I will also mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in, if only to browse around. 1740 South Penn Street, Noblesville, Indiana. Trophies, awards, plaques, and more. Fast turnaround. Prices low. Prices are so low. You may want to be a repeat customer. That's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South Penn Street, Noblesville, Indiana, 46060. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can reach them by phone by dialing 317-773-7391. That's 317-773-7391. 4:05 on the game clock. Second quarter, second buzzer. Lady Huskies, Frankton, Lady Eagles. And the Lady Huskies are going to play defense. And they're at the north end of the gym. Ball brought in. Frankton Lady Eagles on the dribbles. Delaney Perkins. She'll pick up her dribble. She'll pass it to the half court. And she'll work it down low. It's going to be intercepted and stolen by Suarez. So it'll be a foul whistled at the Huskies end of the floor. Huskies first half shooting at the south end. First half, Frankton Lady Eagles shooting at the north end. Lady Huskies going to check in with a substitution here in a moment. 2 shots to stripe for Suarez. First shot, good. And the Huskies going to check in with 2. We'll mention Bailey Isel going to check in for the shooter. That's Suarez. And entering the ball game for the Lady Huskies is number 14, Abby Hilfiker. She's a 5'10" sophomore. Coming out of the ball game there is number 3, Addison Bloom. Second shot, also good for Riley Suarez. Suarez also going to take a breather. And she was the shooter back in the ball game. There's number 10, Bailey Isel. Ball brought in from the backcourt. 3:48 clock moving. Second quarter. Out top of the basketball to move it around. Left side to go to the corner with it. That's number 20, Addie Moore. Ball's going to be tipped away and going to be picked up by Hamilton Heights. Back the other direction. In the paint, shot wouldn't go. Going to be a foul whistled. That shot taken by Hamilton Heights, Stella Taylor. And it's going to be a rebounding foul whistled on Taylor. She has 2 in the ball game. Ball brought in from the backcourt. Going to dribble to the timeline. That's number 14, Layla Farrell. Out top of the basketball, Farrell with the basketball. Go to the corner with it. Going to be tipped away. Lost the handle there. That was Kylie Bias. Back the other direction. Cameron Roten brings it to the timeline. Stella pass it inside. Hook shot outside the paint. Shot wouldn't go. Shot taken there by Lady Husky, Abby Hilfiker. 3:06 on the game clock. They'll bounce it out top. Nearly a steal. Out top of the basketball. They'll bring it back around. They get it into Curtis. Macy Curtis, inside out play. They'll work it to Delaney Perkins. They'll go to the corner with it. On the dribble there, Layla Farrell back to Perkins. They'll work it around the perimeter. They'll work it back. Bias. You're going to pass it near the scores bench. It's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Huskies. 2:48 on the game clock. Can be brought in slightly backward by the Frankton Lady Eagles. Crossing the timeline on the dribble, left-handed dribble. The 12. And that was Delaney Perkins. Bring it back around to 14. Layla Farrell back to Perkins. She'll bounce it in. It's going to be off the foot of Macy Curtis. Going to go out of bounds in front of the Husky bench. 2:34 on the game clock. Be brought in front of the Husky bench. Brought in by Cameron Roten. Crossing the timeline on the dribble is Bailey Isel. She'll work her right side. She'll cross over out beyond the arc. 2:24 on the game clock. She'll bounce pass in the paint. Turnaround jumper off the glass. Right at the bucket. Stella Taylor, 5'6" freshman. 2:14 on the game clock. Crossing the timeline. Frankton Lady Eagles. They go to the corner with it. Adding more. Double team. Hamilton Heights. Going to be a foul whistle. Foul whistle. That is just the first foul on the Lady Huskies here in the quarter. Frankton Lady Eagles have one. They're going to whistle this foul on Hamilton Heights 14. Abby Hillfiker. She has one. Ball brought in right of the bucket on the baseline. Layla Farrell outside the arc and dribble baseline. 2-point shot off the mark. Shot taken there by Delaney Perkins. Rebound Hamilton Heights. Back the other direction is Zeisel. She'll dribble in. She'll kick it back out on the dribbles. Off the glass. Shot would go. Shot taken there by Stella Taylor. Rebound Hamilton Heights. Out top. Stella again with the basketball. They'll work it down low. Going to tear them out behind the 3-point arc. Cameron Roten, 3-point shot. Wouldn't go, and it's evidently going to be the last touch by Frankton Lady Eagles during the rebound. Rebound stage. 1:43 on the game clock. 28-7 Lady Huskies in front. Ball brought in, left the bucket on the baseline. He brought into ISO. Out top, Cameron Roten. Roten going to dribble, going to lose the handle. Going to be picked up by number 4, Stella Taylor. Going to be a whistle, reach-in foul on Frankton. As Stella tried to go baseline in front of the home crowd. Going to be brought in. Hamilton Heights, Cameron Roten looking to get it in. She'll pass it to the backcourt. Picked up there by 10, Bailey Eisel. Bailey Eisel, a little bit of a hesitation dribble. She'll back up, take about a 16-footer. Wouldn't go. Rebound putback. It did go, and it'll count. It'll be a foul whistle. 3-point opportunity. 44, Zoe Curry. Zoe Curry, a 5'11" freshman. And back in the ball game for the Lady Huskies, number 3, Addison Bloom. And taking a breather for the Lady Huskies, number 12, Cameron Roten. Will be one shot awarded to Zoe Curry. First shot, only shot, you got it. 3-point play for Curry. 31-7 to 1:25 left here in the second quarter. On the dribble to the timeline. Crossing over to Layla Farrell. Works it right side. Delaney Perkins back to Farrell behind the arc. They'll bounce it in. They're going just outside the paint. 2-point shot for Curtis. Wouldn't go. Rebound out of there for Eisel of the Huskies. She'll cross the timeline on the dribble. Outside the arc, she'll pop a left-handed shot short off the rim. Might have been a 3. Trying to get her own board. Ball's loose in the paint. 3 girls on the floor trying to pick up that loose ball. And a lot of good sportsmanship there, helping each other up. IHSAA smiles when they see that. So back in the ball game is going to be Riley Suarez. Taking a breather, it's 44, Zoe Curry. Ball's going to be brought in right in the bucket on the baseline by number 10, Bailey Eisel. Just under 1 minute to go. Ball brought in. Tipped out on the dribble is number 4, Stella Taylor. Well, working out top to Eisel. She'll backpedal dribble near the center circle. She'll bounce it left side out behind the arc is Riley Suarez. She's got the triple threat. She'll pass in the paint. One dribble off the glass. Shot wouldn't go. Got her own rebound. That was 14. Abby Hillfiker going back the other direction. Rebound. Frankton Lady Eagles outside the arc. They'll work it out top. On the dribble, they'll bounce it down low. Trying to get it to Curtis. Stepping in front of the passing lane was Stella Taylor. And she goes past to the baseline. And we're going to be a layup. Scored by 23, Riley Suarez. 15 seconds left. Trying to break the press there to the front court on the pass. Working the basketball there is adding more. They'll work it down baseline. And Curtis is going to take a shot from the baseline and going to be fouled in the active shooting. So that foul is going to be whistled on the Lady Huskies. It's going to be the second foul here in the ballgame on 14, Abby Hillfiker, 5'10" sophomore. Left-handed shot, short off the mark. A lot of left-handed shooters in today's ball game. She'll get one more. That's 25, Macy Curtis. She's a senior. She's a captain. 6'1". Second shot, good. Nothing but net. 33-8. Lady Huskies in front. To the front court, Eisel. Gonna pass it out behind the arc, long shot near the buzzer, off the mark, left elbow extended, wouldn't go. A 3-point shot taken by Suarez. We'll go to halftime. Halftime score here at Hamilton Heights. Hamilton Heights 33, Bear. Lisa Stokes Bear at Century 21, real estate. Enthusiasm, experience, and knowledge. Lisa Stokes Bear, real estate agent, real estate broker. Lisa Litton. At Century 21 Sheets Company. That's down there on 96th Street. They're on the Marion County side of 96th Street, serving Hamilton, Tipton, in Madison counties since 1997, specializing in residential and corporate relocations. You can contact us, also send her text messages at 317-513-4086. That's Lisa Stokes Bear. Cicero, and we'll also mention Jim Dandy Restaurant, proudly supporting basketball here in central Indiana. They're located at 203 West Jefferson Street, Tipton, Indiana 46072. You can dine in or you can carry out at 765-675-6199. They have American comfort food. You'll enjoy their menu. They have breakfast all day, and they were established in 1964. They have good food, good friends, and good times. And then they are back in basketball here in central Indiana. That's Jim Dandy Restaurant. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Ranger Roofing. Ranger Roofing and Exteriors. Is your roof ready for game day? At Ranger Roofing and Exteriors, they know the best offense is a strong defense, starting with your roof. From repairs to full replacements, siding to gutters, they've got your home covered, literally. That's Ranger Roofing and Exteriors. They are locally owned by Jordan Beck. His team plays hard, works harder, and doesn't stop till the job is done right. You can contact Ranger Roofing and Exteriors. Online, it's rangerroofingexteriors.com, or by phone, it's 317-361-7858. That's Ranger Roofing and Exteriors. So 7:18 left here in the intermission. We'll talk a little bit about this year's preseason basketball poll. It's interesting. You can check out which division you belong to, see where they're at, see where they were, because as mentioned, these teams likely finished last year where they are now. But I think what they probably have a new poll because they played games. The most games anybody has played on my list here is one. Some of them haven't played yet, but yet are on the poll. Bears. Lawrence Central, it happens to be where my father-in-law graduated high school. Lawrence Central Bears, they defeated for a Carmel in their one win, 67-49. At number 3 in Class 4A, it's Pike Red Devils. Pike Red Devils, they defeated Avon. They're 1-0. Class 3A, top three teams might have been from a year ago, but we'll mention at number 1, the Washington Hatchets. Washington Hatchets, they lost to 2A North Knox 48-47 in overtime. So Washington Hatchets are number 1, and they've lost one game. At number 2, it's Silver Creek. Silver Creek Dragons, they are home tonight with the Seymour Lady Owls. The Lady Huskies have been to Seymour, played the Lady House, and I will mention both teams tonight in that game have not played yet. They're playing tonight. At number 3, it's Evansville Central. That's Evansville Central Bears. They're playing on a neutral site tonight because they're in a tournament at Corydon High School. There are 4 teams in that tournament. And I will also mention in Class 2A. Class 2A, interesting for both of these schools playing here tonight. The person, I should say, the team in Class 2A at number 1, they are in the Hoosier Conference, and that is the Benton Central Bison. Then Central Bison, they prefer to not go by Lady Bison. They are the Bison. David Baxter, their head coach. Wow, he's tremendous. I think he's 14 or 15 years into it. And last I checked, after 13 years, he had not lost or not had a winning season at all. So we'll mention that's the Benton Central Bison at 2A, number one. That's a preseason poll, though. And at number one, Class 1A, Borden. Borden Lady Braves, they're 0-0. And we'll mention they're also in that tournament at the Corden site. And I believe they're going against the Hatchets, Washington Hatchets tonight. And that is a 6:30 start. So they likely have finished about a 90-minute game for basketball. So we'll mention right now. All right, text came in, just read it. Everything's fine. And we'll also mention tonight's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Indiana Express Rentals. Indiana Express Rentals. When you find yourself looking for that dependable moving truck rental company, that high quality choice isn't far away. You can call Indiana Express Rentals at the south edge of Noblesville, Indiana. They're located at 1708 South 8th Street. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it is the perfect choice for that rental truck experience. Up to 26-foot box trucks available. And a truck with a Tommy lift can sure come in handy. That's Penske Truck Rentals. The name Penske alone takes any concern away from any travel. That's Indiana Express Rentals. They're in Noblesville. So they buzz the 3-minute buzzer. The 3-minute buzzer going to tell them they got 3 minutes before they'll hand the ball in. And basketball here this evening. And we're going to go ahead and we'll mention a little bit about another sponsor, and that's going to be the Edward Jones. Edward Jones, they're in Tipton. Edward Jones Tipton, financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and the encouragement from young athletes, what they receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Bert D. Hare, your Tipton Edward Jones financial advisor. He understands this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Tipton High School and Hamilton Heights High School. And also put me in sports.com for all of your investment needs. Call 765 675 9535 or visit them at edwardjones.com. So clock rolling down, 127 here in the intermission. Lady Huskies taking some shots at their leisure this quarter, some have be at the north end. And the Frankton Lady Eagles, they're huddled up at their bench area. And we'll mention some games coming up on Thursday, just a couple of days away on the 13th. 3 games. This is in the Hoosier Conference. 6:30 start. Logansport Lady Berries will be at the Twin Lakes Lady Indians. 7:30 start. Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers will be at Tri-County. They are the Lady Cavaliers. 7:30 start. Tri-Central Lady Trojans. They will be at the Tipton Lady Devils. I was in the Tipton gym today. I was doing my day job, and I saw a little bit about the practices going on. But practice makes perfect. I think those 5 P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance. I heard that said by a friend of mine, and he's absolutely right. So a lot of people like that saying. I bet he invented it. So 8 seconds left. Lady Huskies in their own huddle. Frankton Lady Eagles ready to bring the ball in second half. Lady Huskies adjourn. They don't buzz the buzzer. They stop it just prior to. 8 minutes on the game clock, third quarter. And the Frankton Lady Eagles going to have the basketball. Going to be brought in. Brought in Delaney Perkins. Across the timeline there, Layla Farrell back to Perkins. They're working down low, trying to make the pass. Down low was Macy Curtis. She was trying to find teammate. 20, Addie Moore. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Huskies. Going to be brought in. Frankton. Left of the bucket on the baseline. She'll bounce it in. Around the perimeter, get it back to Addie Moore. They're working down low. Curtis with the basketball. Going to be a foul whistle on the Lady Huskies. Curtis near the right elbow. Lady Huskies playing her back and then pushing forward, and she fell forward. Going to be a foul whistle. First foul here in the second half. A foul whistle on number 12. Cameron Roten, she has two. Ball brought in. Going to be a lengthy pass. Going to go out of bounds. Going to be the last touch by Delaney Perkins. The ball's going to be brought in by the Lady Huskies. Backcourt brought in by Suarez. Crossing the timeline on the dribble, that's number 10, Bailey Eisel. She'll bounce it. Outside the arc on the dribble now is Zoe Curry. She'll toss it in to Suarez. Turnaround jumper off the rim wouldn't go. About a 9-footer wouldn't go. Rebound. Put back, credit the bucket. Zoe Curry for the Lady Huskies. 7:23 on the game clock. 33-10. Lady Huskies in front. We're going to enter the backcourt and bounce it back and forth, trying to break the press. And they do with the pass. In the front court, Layla Farrell. Layla Farrell to the corner. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Going to be the last touch by the Lady Huskies. So the Frankton Lady Eagles are going to bring it in. Right in front of their bench in the corner in the front court. Going to be brought in 42, Kylie Bias. She'll bring it around top. Bounce pass out. Triple threat available. Delaney Perkins. She'll pass out of it. They're working around the perimeter. Touches the hands briefly. Farrell. Now Farrell gets the ball back from Perkins. 3-point shot on there. It might have been deflected. 3-point shot wouldn't go that time by Kylie Bias to the front court. Hamilton Heights after the board. Outside the arc. Rims out. 3-point shot wouldn't go for Kaylee. I should say for Cameron Roten. And the down Lady Huskies couldn't get the putback. To the front court. Going to bounce it to the corner. She'll step in the paint. Going to try to reach around and nearly win and rebound. Curtis. Curtis is going to be fouled in the act of shooting. That reach around pass, shot taken, I should say. 20, Addie Moore. Nearly win an underhanded scoop shot. Would not go. So 2 shots at the stripe for Macy Curtis. Left-handed shot, rims around off the backboard and falls in. 35-9. She gets some congratulatories right there on the lane. Still have one more. Second shot rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound. Lady Huskies going to be tipped away and stolen by the Lady Eagle. Curtis with the basketball. She'll go to the corner. We're going to back around. Farrell. Back around the Perkins. Outside the arc. 3-point shot good. Credit the bucket. 42, Kylie Bias. 5'7" junior. She has 2 3-pointers in the ballgame. 35-12. Going to be a palming violation. They're going to call it a carry right there by Lady Huskies in the front court. Addison Bloom. Michael Jordan made a living. He made a living entertaining. 6:04 on the game clock in the front court. We're going to back around at Jason. They'll work it left side. They'll bounce it into Curtis. Curtis trying to take a bounce in the paint. Lost the handle away by Lady Huskies. Been last touched by Curtis. Going to belong to the Lady Huskies. Left of the bucket on the baseline. Going to be brought in. Going to dribble through the sideline. It's number 10, Bailey Eisel. Crossover. She'll work it left side to Cameron Roten to the corner. 3-point shot in the air. Good. Credit the bucket. Number 3, Addison Bloom. It's a 38-12 contest. You're going to work it through the front court. On the dribble, we're going to back and forth. Delaney Perkins. She'll pass it left side. They'll work it back to Bias. Back working the basketball. It's 20, Addie Moore. We'll work it down low. Off the glass, 2-point shot, good. And a foul. And Macy Curtis is going to get another opportunity at a 3-point play. They're going to whistle this foul on the Lady Huskies. Number 10, Bailey Eisel. Lady Huskies have 3 in the quarter. Frankton Lady Eagles have not committed a foul in the third quarter. 3-point play opportunity. Rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound, Riley Suarez. She'll dribble to the timeline. 6'1" freshman. She'll back pedal dribble. She'll work it right side. Roten on the dribble around the perimeter. Going to work it back out top. Back pedal dribble. ISO. ISO on the dribble and bounce top. She'll crossover dribble in the paint. Kick it to the corner. 3-point shot rims off. Shot wouldn't go there for Zoe Curry. And lost the handle. Ball's going to belong there. Going to go out of bounds. Going to belong to the Lady Huskies in their own front court. It's going to be brought in front of the Husky bench. 4:56 on the game clock. Tossed in by Roten. In the front court deep on the dribble now is Isel. Bailey Isel, back pedal dribble. No defense. Run the 2-3. They're running man to man. Should say lady to lady out top of the basketball and work it right side. Isel. Back out top. That's 3. Addison Bloom. Lost the handle. Ball shipped away. Going to be stolen by Delaney Perkins. Back the other end. Should go baseline in the paint off the glass. 2-point bucket. Good for Bloom. It's a 38-16 contest. They're working baseline. Suarez off the glass. Shot wouldn't go. Rebound out of there. Controlled by 42, Kylie Bias. She get it back to teammate. Guard, that's Delaney Perkins. She'll dribble to the timeline. Pass in the front court. Be snuck on upon and tipped out of bounds by Hamilton Heights, Addison Bloom. So in the ball game for the Lady Huskies is going to be number 22, Reese Blanton. Taking another breather is number 12, Cameron Rote. Ball's in the front court, Lady Eagle. 4:05 on the game clock. Going to pass it out top. It will be deflected, picked up there by Layla Farrell. So we're going back to Perkins. Outside the arc, 3-point shot, good. Third 3-pointer in the ball game. That's for number 42, Kylie Bias. And it's going to be a timeout called with 3:53 left here in the third quarter. Hamilton Heights 38. Frankton 19. Going to be a full 60-second timeout called. And then we'll also mention tonight's ball game is in part being brought to you by Las Portales. That's a Mexican restaurant. You can join them for elegant dining. They're located not too far from your way home. Exquisite Mexican menu. Dine in or carry out. 765-675-2383. And I'm working right there. We'll mention multiple TVs. And I'm right there in Arcade, Cinco de Mayo. They can provide your Mexican food right there. 2 choices. Tipton in Arcadia. Cinco de Mayo. Right there. They have dine in, carry out. 3:53 on the game clock. First buzzer sounds. And the ball's going to be brought in at the south end of the gymnasium. Going to be brought in by the Lady Huskies. It's going to be tossed in right near underneath the bucket, brought in by Blant. And she'll toss it in to Bailey Isel. She'll bring it to the timeline on the dribble. 3:48 on the game clock. We're in the third quarter. Isel on the dribble around the perimeter. She'll cross over again. She'll dribble in the lane. She'll go off the glass. 2-point bucket. She was working against Macy Curtis. Used that crossover dribble. Got the 2 points. It's 40-19. Lady Huskies in front. Going to break the press with the pass to the front court. Layla Farrell. Farrell to the corner. Going to be boxed in. She'll pass out of it. We'll go into baseline there. There's going to be a foul whistled on the Lady Huskies. Whistle this foul on number 3. That's Addison Bloom. So Addison Bloom going to pick up her first foul here in the ballgame. Ball brought in, left the bucket on the baseline. Going to be a bounce pass. In the paint, got the bucket. Nice bounce pass. 2-point bucket in the paint for Kylie Bias. It's a 40-21 contest. 3:14 left here in the third. Out top of the basketball. Back pedal dribble. Working the basketball there is Bailey Isel. Working out top. Isel crossover dribble. Picks up a screen from Suarez. So Isel still on the dribble outside the arc. 3-point shot in the air. Rims out long. Shot taken there by Riley Suarez. They'll go baseline with the basketball. Lady Huskies with the basketball with the rebound. And the ball's going to be tipped out of bounds. And the officials are going to go with the arrow because they couldn't tell where it carried off of. So they used the arrow to bring this ball back in. They give it to the Frankton Lady Eagles. 2:51 on the game clock. The Eagles going to bring it to the timeline. They're working in the front court. Perkins working into Curtis. That's Macy Curtis. Inside out play. Going to be a quick, swift pass off the hands of Layla Farrell. Lady Huskies going to get the ball back. So the Lady Huskies going to bring the ball into backcourt, three-quarter court, right there in front. That's the north end of the Eagles bench. Lady Eagles crossover in the paint, kick it to the corner. On the dribble there is for Stella Taylor. She'll kick it back out, a two-pointer baseline shot. Credit the bucket to number 10, Bailey Eisel. 42-21. Lady Huskies in front. On the dribble in the front court, going to be a closely guarded foul there. Whistled on number 4, Stella Taylor. Stella Taylor going to pick up the foul, and she has double check there. Now the ball's going to be brought in by the Frankton Lady Eagles. Stella Taylor has one foul in the ball game. So coach right there, Caden Key, slapping 5 right there with his point guard. One of them, number 20, Addie Moore. At the free throw line, first shot rims off, wouldn't go. At the free throw line for the Frankton Lady Eagles is number 14, Layla Farrell, a 5'6" sophomore. Second shot on the way, rims off, wouldn't go. Tipped and nearly picked up the rebound. That was Macy Curtis. Saved it back into the hands of Suarez. She'll dribble in coast to coast in the paint. She'll get a right-handed layup. And she'll get a 2-point bucket. Suarez. So Suarez is going to play defense in the backcourt on the dribble. Working back around, that's Farrell crossing the timeline. Layla Farrell picks up her dribble. Nearly a double team, trying to pass out of it. Going to be stolen by Hamilton Heights Addison Bloom to the front court and trying to pick up the basketball out of the air prior to going out of bounds. Couldn't get it done. So Suarez is going to step on the baseline with that right foot. Shoe tie on the court. 1:47 left. We brought in right bucket on the baseline, brought in by Delaney Perkins. Crossing the timeline with the basketball, number 4, shooting 14, Layla Farrell. Back to Perkins. She'll bounce it into Curtis. Outside the arc. 3-point shot wouldn't go. Rebound, Hamilton Heights. Going to be a reach-in foul during the rebound. That 3-point shot was taken by 20, Addie Moore, the 5'7" junior. 1:33 left, and that foul's going to be whistled into backcourt during the rebound. And they're going to call that one on number 4. We'll double check that 25. That's Macy Curtis. She has 2. Outside the arc on the dribble, Stella Taylor. She'll work her right side. We'll try an entry pass into Suarez. Tipped away, going to be stolen. Going back the other direction, that's 42, Kylie Bias. In the paint, turn around off the glass. Credit the bucket. Credit the bucket for the Eagle. And I believe it was 12. It was either Perkins or Farrell in the paint. 44-23. 57 seconds left. Outside the arc on stationary right there was number 3, Addison Bloom. They're working inside. Bloom going to get the ball back on a pass, and going to be a foul whistled on the Frankton Lady Eagles just outside the paint in the front court of Hamilton Heights. 49 seconds left. Third quarter. Ball's brought in, left the bucket by Eisel. She'll toss it in behind the arc. Stationary right there is Addison Bloom. She'll bounce it back out to Eisel on the dribble. Crossover again. She'll go outside the arc. 3-point shot short off the rim. Wouldn't go. That was Suarez. Rebound, Lady Eagles. Going to bring it to the timeline. That's number 12, Delaney Perkins. She'll slow it up in the front court. Uncontested. She'll work it right side with the basketball. 14, Layla Farrell. They're working back in. They go just outside the paint. 2-point shot wouldn't go. That was Macy Curtis. Good entry pass from 20, Addie Moore. And Lady Huskies is going to check in with 2 substitutions. It's going to be number 14, Abby Hillfiker, and number 12, Cameron Rote. Suarez going to take a breather along with Taylor. Ball brought in, backcourt. Hamilton Heights to the front court on the dribble. Eisel, crossover dribble out top. Picks up a screen from Zoe Curry. They'll bounce it in baseline. Turnaround jumper short off the rim. Cameron Rote couldn't get the initial shot, followed a shot, and picked up the rebound, tried to shoot again, got fouled in the act of her second shot. 2.3 seconds left here in the third quarter. Lady Huskies in front, 44-23. At the free throw line, Cameron Rote. Her shot is good. She'll get one more. Get some congratulatories. 0.3 left, third quarter. Cameron Roten's second shot also good. 46-23, Lady Huskies in front. Ball brought in. Full court brought in to Farrell. Layla Farrell going to try a shot. The buzzer is just behind the buzzer, just beyond half court. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter of play. At the end of three quarters, Hamilton Heights 46, Frankton 23. And again, we'll mention we do thank you for tuning in. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Lucky Strike Lanes. Lucky Strike Lanes, that's Elwood, Indiana. If you like creating memories, that's the place to be. Family-friendly bowling, state-of-the-art Redemption Arcade, great food and drinks at Sally's at the Alley. Open lanes with Cosmic Bowling every Saturday night, 7 to 11 p.m. Lucky Strike Lanes, they're just west of the Pizza King on Anderson Street. That's in Elwood. We'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Rutledge Wells Drilling. Rutledge Wells Drilling, when you think of water, think of Rutledge Wells Drilling. Rutledge Wells Drilling, you can call them. That's Rutledge Wells Drilling and Pump Service Incorporated. Their phone number is 765-292-2315. That's 765-292-2315. RutledgeWellDrilling.com. The ball's going to be brought in. Alternate possession arrow. Going to give it to the Lady Huskies. Bring it in a half court. It's going to be number 12, Cameron Rote. She'll pass it slightly backward to the hands of Bailey Isel. She'll cross the timeline. Crossover dribble, top of the key. So we're going back out top to Addison Bloom. Bloom going to go back to the corner to it, and that's Cameron Rote. She'll go off the glass. She'll get the bucket, and she'll draw a foul. So Cameron Roten will get one more. She'll get the bucket. They're going to whistle this foul on the Frankton Lady Eagles. Number 12, whistle against Delaney Perkins. She has 3. So that's the first foul here in the fourth quarter at all as they go quarterly by fouls. It started about 2 years ago. 3-point play good for Cameron Roten. 49-23. Brought in from the backcourt. On the dribble, number 14, Layla Farrell. She'll cross-court pass to Perkins, back to Farrell. Now back to Perkins, way behind the arc. She'll pass it in. That's number 20, outside the arc, adding Moore. They're working into Curtis. Back to Moore. Moore on the dribble. She'll spin move. She'll go off the glass, shouting to go. Fighting for the board there was Macy Curtis. Coming down with the board was Cameron Rote. She's going to pass it up ahead into paint. Little hesitation on the catch there. Didn't quite corral it. Going to take an extra step before the ball went to the floor. It'll be a traveling violation on the Huskies. Ball brought in from the backcourt. Perkins, Farrell, throwing it back and forth. Now right side, back to Farrell. Near the Huskies logo there at center circle. Back to Farrell. They're working to Perkins. They're working right side. They're working back around into paint. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be last touched by the Lady Eagles. And the Lady Huskies will bring it in from the backcourt. 7:04 left here in the fourth quarter. 49-23 brought in. Lady Huskies in the backcourt. Going to dribble across the timeline. It's number 10, Isel. She'll dribble in the paint. She'll take a shot left-handed just out inside the paint. Going to be a foul call, and then she'll shoot 2. So they're going to whistle this foul on the Frankton Lady Eagles. Number 14, Layla Farrell, a 5'6" sophomore at the free throw line, left-handed shooting. Bailey Isel. Her shot is good. 50-23. Lady Huskies will have one more. Left-handed shot is good. Got both of them. 51-23. Lady Huskies in front. Ball brought into the backcourt. Going to bring it to the timeline. That's 14. Layla Farrell should get it to 12. Delaney Perkins. They'll work it into Curtis. Curtis got a roll right there in the paint. Another left-handed shooter. That was Macy Curtis for two. 51-25. Lady Huskies in front. They're going to dribble in the paint. Lady Husky. Credit the bucket. That was 14. Abby Hillfiker, 5'10" sophomore. So 6:29 on the game clock. To the front court with the basketball. That's Perkins. Delaney Perkins corrals the loose balls. She'll skip pass right side behind the arc. Three-point shot wouldn't go that time. That was 42. Kylie Bias. Lady Huskies with the rebound. They go to the front court and pass off in the paint. Credit the bucket. That was 14. Abby Hillfiker calls in the front court. It's stolen. It took me up. So pass down low, 2-point bucket in the paint there for Hamilton Heights. Bailey Isel. 5:40 left here in the fourth quarter. 57-25. Lady Huskies in front. Frankton Lady Eagles. In the paint, turnaround skyhook wouldn't go there. That was 20. Addie Moore in the paint. Going to be a foul occur on the rebound. It's going to be whistled against the Lady Huskies. So Lady Huskies going to check in with three players off the bench. Try to get those. And number 4, Stella Taylor. One of them, Suarez, brought in by Frankton Lady Eagles. Try to pierce the double team. And going to be a foul call. Piercing the double team there for the Frankton Lady Eagles. Number 12, Delaney Perkins. We brought in left bucket on the baseline. A foul whistle on the Lady Huskies. Number 4, Stella Taylor. She has 2. Shot off the mark outside the arc. Shot taken there by Addie Moore. Back the other direction. Hamilton Heights. Left-handed shot off the glass. Wouldn't go. That was 14. Abby Hillfiker. Rebound putback is good. 23. Riley Suarez. 5:10. Clock moving. Fourth quarter. In the front court, Lady Eagles. They'll work it outside the paint. Kylie Bias. Bias going to lose the handle. Going to go out of bounds. Hamilton Heights. Double team. Right there was 14. Hillfiker. And 3. Bloom. Going to be a timeout called on the court. Going to be a full 60-second timeout. 5:03 left here in the fourth quarter. Lady Huskies in front, 59-25. And again, we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by FritzandFishers.com. Since 1983, great cars, great price, great customers. You can dial them up at 317-842-2228. That's at their Fishers location, 8599 East 116th Street. And their Fritz in Noblesville, that's 2400 Westfield Road, Noblesville 46062. FritzandFishers.com. Explore their quality. Used car inventory. FritzandFishers.com. FRIEZ. So first buzzers down. 5:03 left. In second, the ball's going to be brought in on the side court line. In the back court, going to belong to Hamilton Heights. Going to be brought in. Addison Bloom. She'll toss it in. Across the timeline. She'll slow it up in the front court. Stella Taylor. Stella Taylor outside back middle. Joe working against her is 12. Delaney Perkins. Outside the arc. Hillfiker. She'll drive the lane. 2-point shot wouldn't go. Rebound. Macy Curtis. So they're working through the front court. That's Layla Farrell on the dribble. Outside the arc. Addie Moore. They're working down low off the glass. Credit the bucket. That's Macy Curtis for 2. 59-27. Lady Huskies in front. About 4:29 on the game clock. Going to be a reach-in foul during the pass to the corner. They're trying to get it to Suarez. Foul's going to be whistled on the Frankton Lady Eagles. We brought in left of the bucket on the baseline. A foul whistle. Number 12, Delaney Perkins. She has 4 in the contest. On the dribble inside the arc, back pedal dribble now. Working the basketball, Stella Taylor. Outside the arc, Hillfiker. She'll work it down low inside. Blanton, Reese Blanton goes up for a shot. She'll be fouled in the act of shooting. Left of the bucket in the paint. She'll shoot 2. 4:13 on the game clock. Philippines. Yeah. So it's free throw line. Reese Blanton, first shot, rims around, wouldn't go. 59-27. She'll get one more. Reese Blanton at the free throw line. Where's number 22, a 5'5 junior? She'll add the second one. Second one rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound, Macy Curtis. She'll hand off Layla Farrell to the front court with the basketball. That's Addie Moore. Addie Moore being guarded there. She go off the glass. She works the ball inside. A nice pass by Moore. Finds Curtis. Macy Curtis for 2 in the paint. 59-29. Outside the arc, Hamilton Heights on the dribble. Crossover dribble, backpedal dribble there for Suarez. Short left side behind the arc. Out top, 3-point shot wouldn't go. A shot taken by Hamilton Heights Addison Bloom. Rebound, Lady Huskies. We're going to see a wholesale substitution the next time out, next break for the Hamilton Heights Huskies. 16-footer straight away, rims off. Wouldn't go for Suarez. And Hamilton Heights going to empty their bench. Head coach Aaron Trimpe. 3:29 on the game clock. And in the ball game, we'll try to capture those. We're not going to do it. We don't have all the listing. A lot of JV players invested there and involved. Working back in the paint. Working back around outside the arc. 3-point shot, good. 3-point shot, good. Credit the bucket. Addie Moore. The nice pass from Macy Curtis. 59-32, 3:08 left. Fourth quarter. Trying to work it out. Time to work it outside the arc. Working the basketball there. And they'll tip it back around. And I'm crossing over in the paint. 2-point shot wouldn't go. Shot taken by Gabby Lowe. I do have her name on my list. We'll try to get that captured for the next game. That'll be Friday night. Working back around outside the arc. 3-point shot. Encore presentation wouldn't go that time. That was 20, Addie Moore. Rebound, Lady Huskies. To the front court, number 2, Gabby Lowe. Out top, stationary dribble, trying to direct some traffic, and she will. Going baseline, couldn't get the jump stop landed. Want to make the pass, but the passing lane closed up. Going to be a traveling violation on the Lady Huskies. Going to bring it to the timeline, Layla Farrell. Left-handed dribble, she'll bounce it. Outside the arc, bounce pass into Curtis. Back to Farrell. Back, working back to Moore, and then working back inside in the paint. Got it to Macy Curtis. Going to be a foul whistle on the Lady Huskies. So they're going to whistle this foul. She wears 35. We'll hope to capture, get a little bit of a longer roster list. 2:15 left. They're going to whistle the foul on number 2, Gabby Lowe. She has 1. On the dribble, tried to step in. So he couldn't get the shot. Shot taken there by Moore. That was Addie Moore, and it can be a foul whistle during the rebound stage. It's going to be called against the Lady Huskies. So Lady Huskies have 3 accumulative fouls here in the quarter, and the Frankton Lady Eagles have 4. First shot, good, by Macy Curtis. Macy Curtis, pretty tall gal. Macy Curtis, 6'1", senior. She'll get one more. Second shot, also good. 59-34, Lady Huskies in front. 2:08 left here in the fourth quarter. We'll dribble to the timeline. Out top, that's Gabby Lowe. She'll work it left side. Left side, left elbow. To pass it down low. 2-point shot, good. Right at the bucket. Hamilton Heights, 61-34. So that was Scheller. Familiar with the Schillers, but out top wouldn't get the bucket. Rebound, put back for Addie Moore, wouldn't go. Trying to fight for the board there. Coming up with it was Delaney Perkins. She'll work it down low to Macy Curtis. She'll pass off, and a nice pass from Curtis. 2-point shot, right side of the glass in the paint. Number 20, Addie Moore. 125 on the game clock. Back pedal dribble out top. Directing traffic, that's Gabby Lowe. She'll work it behind the arc. Working back to the corner, she'll step in. Step in. I've seen this gal play at the middle school level. She has some definite potential. Working in the paint. Baseline. 2-point shot. Wouldn't go. Shot taken. They're going to rebound Hamilton Heights. So working back out to Gabby Lowe. Low on the dribble. She'll work it in. Ball's loose. Ball's going to be picked up to the front court. On the dribble, Layla Farrell. Layla Farrell outside the paint, trying to take a shot. Will be a foul whistled against the Lady Huskies. 52.1 left here in the fourth quarter. Lady Huskies going to pick up the foul. And at the free throw line for the Lady Eagles is number 14, Layla Farrell. Layla Farrell gets the first one. Substitution back in the game. We're going to see a new player for the Frankton Lady Eagles. She wears number 50. That's Bailey Wells. Bailey Wells, 5'10", freshman. I'm not sure if I'm Coach Wells. I don't know. Got the second one, too. Coach Marty Wells, first-year coach, Frankton Eagles football in the front court. Working the basketball out top on the dribble is Gabby Lowe. Outside the arc, going to dribble around. Pass it back out to Lowe. She's behind the arc. Left corner, near the corner baseline. Putting on a dribbling exhibition. Get back to the corner. They'll work it inside. 2-point shot when you go. Got her own rebound. Shot when you go. Some friction there, not a lot. That's number 5. That ball goes out of bounds. 27.1 left here in the fourth quarter. 51-38. Lady Huskies will bring the ball in. Gabby Lowe on the dribble. She'll work it out top. She'll dribble in. Elbow left side. Might have got away with a little stutter step there. Shot wouldn't go. Rebound going back the other direction is Delaney Perkins. Perkins on the dribble. She'll kick it back out. Addie Moore. Addie Moore will kick it back out. 3-point shot. Layla Farrell. Rims off, wouldn't go. Rebound. Trying to get the putback there. And then working it back around. And down low. Saving the basketball. And that's going to complete the ball game. That's going to complete today's ball game. And final score, 61-38. And we'll mention next game on the agenda for the Frankton Lady Eagles. They'll be at the Lapel Lady Bulldogs, and that'll be Saturday. Except this will be November 15th. And the Lady Huskies will be in action Friday night. And they'll be at the Noblesville Millers, 6 and 7:30 contest. And we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll mention that no matter if you're home or away, if you're doing the teaching and the learning, don't let it